Someone else might feel this too. This almost dreadful feeling of nostalgia. Is that tree still there? How big has it grown over the years? And what about those houses and buildings? That street or a certain corner of the town you grew up in? How have they changed over time? What about the people you used to know? Are they still there? What are they doing now? How do they look? We are all attracted to nostalgia. Some of us ignore it, pushing forward into an unknown future. Others get stuck in the past. Some try to simply enjoy the moment. There is a common misconception about nostalgia. It is often understood as back then things were better. This is most likely untrue. The further something lies in the past, the more it is blurred by memory, often modified, softened, or reshaped. In high school, I remembered my childhood as warm and worry-free. In reality, kindergarten and elementary school were periods I actually hated. But those memories blurred quickly, because high school felt more exhausting, and life's challenges kept growing. After leaving high school and attending college, I began to remember my school days as warm and easygoing. Surely, I made the best of that time, but in reality, there was enough heartache and personal difficulty as well. As time moves on, the past is often seen in a better light. Of course, this does not apply to everything. Severe trauma, health issues, bullying, the death of someone close often causes us to store the past in a tightly sealed box. Memories can be painful, and some are better left untouched. For me, one of those box memories is my parents often fighting, insulting and threatening each other. Today, the word divorce still triggers anxiety and uneasiness in me. I have learned to cope with it and not to dwell on it too much. Interestingly, it does not affect my overall feelings towards the past in a negative way. I still adore nostalgia and, in a way, cherish and accept my past. But then again, the world we perceive can only ever be experienced as a moment. Everything is a moment. There is no past and no future in a literal sense. Both are constructs of the brain, allowing us to exist, plan, and get things done. Time itself is relative, maybe even an illusion. As it is often said, our entire existence is nothing more than the blink of an eye. And the further you zoom out, the more you realize that time, as we experience it, is deeply personal. Observe different lives and you will hear different stories. I have often experienced this with a friend I have known since we were little. We made fundamentally different life choices, yet the stories we tell each other about the past mostly match. Still, there are always two versions of the same situation, sometimes wildly different. Listening to them can be refreshing, like changing the camera angle while watching a movie. We spend a lot of time together, but our memories are only partly intertwined. How do we measure time? With a clock? With a calendar? These are constructs to organize and understand the chronicles of our lives. Imagine suddenly finding yourself in your own past without knowing the year, month, or day. What would you do? You would look at clues. The cars, the vegetation, the buildings. How do people dress? Do familiar places look more decayed or newer than you remember? You would search for markers to identify a relative point in time. I sometimes revisit places from my past. The ghosts of former experiences are still there. Yet, in a strange way, things are gone forever, leaving me in an almost dreadful state. It can be hard not to feel overwhelmed by the fact that things won't come back and you will never feel the same way again. This is the feeling of nostalgia. It is like self-inflicted pain that still feels wholesome. Sad, deeply emotional, ghost-like. You are there, but something is missing. Some places from my childhood have remained almost unchanged. Others no longer exist, or have been distorted, rebuilt, or made uglier. I sit and breathe, trying to catch a scent I used to smell when I was younger. It is fascinating how this triggers emotional memory. Vivid flashes of the past, lavender, elderflower, fragments and splinters of memories rise from the depths of my subconscious. My mom in the kitchen, preparing food, unpacking my first boxed game and spending hours in front of the computer. Time passing, time running, forgetting homework, sometimes even forgetting about friends. Appreciation of the past is a strange thing because it can feel like a full-time job. Remember those photos or videos you deleted 20 years ago? What I would give to see those snapshots again. Photos that feel useless in the present because they are just snapshots, gain value over time. Some of my most precious memories persist only because a single image helps my brain locate a drawer I buried long ago. I learned to appreciate photography more. I know that in 10, 20 or 30 years, these photos will hold personal value for me, and maybe for others as well. They will make me cry, they will make me laugh, and they will trigger a deep sense of nostalgia. Can we learn something from this? If anything, nostalgia is not a bad thing. It helps us cope with present and future challenges. It teaches us about ourselves. And it allows us to reflect and to better appreciate the moment. And that's all that counts.